To TSK F1. It's time for the first Grand Prix of the season. How exciting is this? I really cannot wait at all for this, guys. How are we doing? I hope you're well indeed. Welcome to the stream. Are we excited? I'm excited. I was doing something and I've forgotten what I was doing, but there we go. Who's with me? Who's with me today? And who are we thinking is going to do it today? Who do we think is going to do it? Guys, honestly, just beyond excited for this. Beyond excited. We've got a little bit of news to start the stream with and start the day with. Leclerc, how you doing, Joshua? Leclerc is taking a new, what is it, energy store? I'm just going to confirm that. Leclerc is taking a new energy store in his power unit for the first Grand Prix of the season, which is 50% of his allocation for the season. So you only get 2 for the season, and Charles Leclerc is taking one already. I'm just waiting to... Oh, F1 TV have got Fred Vasseur, just one moment, see if we hear something about it. Just waiting to see if he says anything about Leclerc's power store. They're not mentioning it yet. Of this, how long until the race start? 30 minutes. 30 minutes. How you doing, guys? And just has Sky Sports given any detail as to why he's taken the power store? I feel like they could probably repair it if there's something wrong, right? Well, that was a wasted opportunity. F1 TV had Fred Vasseur and didn't ask him anything about it. We just know it's happening. So, yeah, Charles Leclerc is taking it. It must be a car issue or some technology came out. Maybe, Rolando, maybe. Because the report that I'm seeing about it doesn't give any detail, just that it's been replaced. So if you guys know more, please do let me know. How you doing, everyone in chat? Welcome. We've got, 28 minutes until it's go time. So I suppose that's the big news that will impact the season later on. And I thought I'd bring this other piece of news to you. I don't know if this has been reported elsewhere. But the article only came out like half an hour ago. And the team boss at McLaren has been talking about how he believes they can outdevelop their rivals because the MCL60 is alive in the wind tunnel and that they have a big upgrade coming in time for, they hope, round 4 of the season. And the car is going to be upgraded race by race, every race. So, yeah, there's some hope there for McLaren fans. He said, the main limitation we have at the moment is aerodynamic downforce. Obviously, we can improve the rate of development in the car by having better infrastructure, by having more workforce, and this is why we are having the investments that are ongoing now at McLaren. However, I think for the level of talent and availability we have at McLaren already, we can recover and outdevelop other teams, because what we see in development right now is a very alive car in terms of development. There are some areas of the car that seem to be able to generate good downforce. Like I've already said, they were not ready in time to be part of the launch spec, but this car will evolve race by race with some major upgrades that will come. The first one will be around race 4. So McLaren are expecting their car to get a lot better around race 4. Part of the problem, though, with this is it's, when I suppose most notably we're talking about Mercedes, when we're talking about cars upgrading and teams bringing upgrades to the track, it's not as if the other teams are standing still, right? So McLaren bringing an upgrade for race 4, that's all well and good, but if the teams around them also bring an upgrade for race 4, then they're not making any ground unless they really do nail it, you know. So it's a difficult one, isn't it, to sort of make sense of, because we talk about the likes of Mercedes catching up to the Red Bulls and the Ferraris, but the reality is both of those teams will be upgrading as the season continues as well. So I did just want to clear something up as well. I did a YouTube short yesterday where I took quotes from Toto Wolff, where he was talking about Mercedes being nowhere near the competition, quote, and that that Mercedes will not be stubborn, and that they will look at all options available, whether that's new side pods or something or other things that are more subtle. And just in response to the comments where there were multiple saying it was a gross misrepresentation of facts was one of them. Now, if I'm quoting the team principal of Mercedes, I'm not misrepresenting anything. So really, if you're telling me that's a misrepresentation of the facts, you're basically saying you know more than Toto Wolff about what's happening at Mercedes. And you don't. None of us do. So I only bring you quotes, or I very much caveat an opinion. So, yes. If I'm making a YouTube short on it, it's quotes, basically. So, yeah. How you doing, Mario? Good to see you, dude. Hope you're well. Good to see you. I can't wait either, Jamie. How you doing, Rahul? Well, how you doing? We've got 23 minutes until lights out at the track. I mean, how much of a disaster do you think, for all the preseason chat and whatnot, Pierre Gasly starting in 20th isn't great, is it? I know he got a lap deleted, but he was only going to be what? I think he was only going to be 16th or 17th before he got his lap deleted. I mean, look, you could put nearly any issue you want on that, but Gasly 20th, Ocon 9th is not a good look, is it? It really isn't a good look. And out of all the qualifying, that's probably the worst performance, right? If you look at it, I think. Magnussen really as well. Hulkenberg up in 10th. Magnussen's not great. And maybe you could say it about Piastri, but he is a rookie. But were there any surprises for you guys on the grid? And get your predictions in as well. Get your predictions into the chat. Who you think's going to win? Do you think you're going to see any surprises or anything like that? I'm going to go ahead and I think Alonso will get past both Ferraris. And I think that the Mercedes and the Ferraris will struggle in race pace. And it's possible Stroll gets past both Mercedes, I think, in the race. But that's only going off what we've seen so far this season. We'll have to see, won't we? Do make sure you're hitting that like on the hit the like on the stream, guys. You may have to close the chat to do so, but it really, really helps. And get involved in the chat as well. The more people involved in the chat, the more YouTube will push this stream into more and more people's little watch feeds and everything. So please do get involved. Mercedes P3 and 5. You've got more confidence than me, mate. I don't think they're going to be anywhere near the podium today. And I think the only way a Mercedes gets on the podium is if you lose like the Red Bulls, Ferraris, and Alonso. I think that's the only way Mercedes get up to the onto the podium. And I'm just being honest. I don't see, given all the evidence of preseason and practice, how under normal race conditions Mercedes get up on the podium, because they've been really honest and said the race pace is probably even worse than the quali pace, which is a bit of a reversal from last season. But Mercedes are expecting to be around a second a lap off in race trim, which is crazy. But again, we'll see going into the race, won't we, how close it is. As we're seeing, the Mercedes mechanics are all stood around the back of the car. Ferrari will suffer some reliability issues. Based on what? Based on what you've seen, I haven't. I mean, okay, they've changed an energy stall, but we haven't seen any particular reliability issues through testing with Ferrari, so I don't know. I think that's just a guess, personally, mate. But we'll see if Ferrari do hit any reliability issues, won't we? Really, the only teams on track that have suffered reliability issues are Mercedes and Aston Martins. So yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure that's going to be a thing, if I'm quite honest. But we shall see. That's an interesting shot right now. You see on the Mercedes, the McLaren, they've got the dry ice fans going into the side pods, and it was really cool just then. You could see the cool air shooting out of the louvers in the top of the engine cover, and also out of the cooling ducts out the back towards the exhaust. It looked really, really cool. It shows you how cool they're trying to keep everything. Why is that? Why do they keep everything so cool? Why is that? Because I know that they and rules have changed around the fuel, but why is it that they keep everything so cool? Because I don't know. I don't actually know. Does anyone know? Because I know the engines used to need sort of warm oil and stuff fed through them before they'd start and whatnot. But these days, I don't think that's a thing. As we just see Ocon sat in the garage with, 20 minutes until the race. But why, yeah, does anyone know why even stood still they're keeping everything so absolutely cool? I'll admit, I don't actually know. But I suppose they've done some installation laps, and they've done some installation laps, and they've done the lap round to the grid, haven't they? So maybe they literally are just cooling it down because of that residual heat kind of thing. As we're seeing Lawrence Stroll and Toto Wolff in deep conversation. Has anyone heard any more about the Red Bull running too low? Now, there were reports of the Red Bull running 10 millimeters lower than everyone, and I had reported this on the TSK F1 news show during this week on the run-up to the Grand Prix, but people were telling me that Mercedes and Ferrari had sort of raised it as a protest, but I can see the Red Bulls are on the grid. I haven't been able to verify any protest. I think it's been made up in press, quite honestly. But I don't know. All I've heard, Jeremy Clarkson, is Jeremy Clarkson there? Try again, what? I said hello. What? I said hello to you. Oh, nice. Jeremy Clarkson loves his Formula One, to be fair, so I'm not mad at him being there. All I heard was that Red Bull were able to run the car lower, and not in a cheating way, but the problem they had was they were very close on wear on the underfloor over a race run, and they were bothered that they would be under the legal limit for wear, or over the legal limit for wear on the plank and the titanium skids under the car. So I don't think yeah. The Bahrain national anthem. Russell nodding his head like it's a club banger. Please do hit that like on the stream, guys. It really, really helps. You may have to close the chat to do so. There's a big Gulf Air jet flies over the grid. the F1 TV commentator calling it a giant plane. Right then. We need some predictions in chat with 15 minutes to go. Now, I'm going to say my top 5 will be Verstappen, Perez, Alonso, Leclerc. Stroll. Verstappen, Perez, Alonso, Leclerc, Stroll. I think the only way Red Bulls don't win this is reliability, right? I think. I'm so excited. I can't wait. 14 minutes to go. I was just waiting to see what Christian Horner had to say, if anything, that was interesting. So how I'll do this, guys, I will commentate the first few laps without looking at chat, because there's always going to be a bit of a delay, right? Between if you're watching it, your pictures and what I'm seeing and things like that. So I'll commentate the first few laps, saying it as I see it. And I'm just bringing up the onboard cameras, because I want to be on board with Alonso in this race. Commentate, we enjoy it. I will. Pinks. I haven't got pinks on my thing, to be honest. Just opening up all my data channels, so we're ready to go. I've got the onboard from Fernando for my own viewing, and I've opened up the F1 data channel so I can see that. See how it compares with the other stuff that I've got. Also, later on at the at the end of the race, guys, I'll be sharing a link as well that will take you to a driver ratings page. So I really want people to take part in that and vote on their driver ratings and their driver of the day, because hopefully later on tonight I'll make a post-race video on that, share my ratings and your ratings as viewers, what you guys think as well. So can you say what you see 1-2 minutes before the start to do the sync? I mean, when I see a timer, I will. You'll be gutted when you see her. It's crazy. It's crazy. Welcome to everyone. We've got about 12 minutes until the start of the Grand Prix. Get your predictions into the chat, guys. What do you think we're going to see today? All good, dude. How are you? All good. Is the audio good today, guys? Everything good with the voice and all that good stuff? I've got the tyre data up so I can give you guys any informations you might be after as well. Any new fresh news coming out while I'm live? Nope, not yet. Nothing. Cheers, dude. Thank you. Let's get the tyre data up. Verstappen, Leclerc, Alonso. Ooh. I still think Verstappen, Perez, Alonso myself, which could make me go crazy, but that's what I'm kind of expecting. It's what I'm kind of expecting, and I can't wait to see it. Gasly running the hard tyre. You'll have to see on TV. I don't have that data, and I'm not looking at Gasly. So on the tyre data, it's saying not available. On the timing, it's saying not available. So I can't see that. Sorry, mate. The 10-minute buzzer has just gone. Bulls will push Verstappen over Perez strategy-wise. I don't think they need to. I don't see why they would, because they don't need to. Verstappen's a better driver than Perez, so I don't think they need to push Verstappen over Perez strategy-wise to give him anything, honestly. Not in my opinion. How you doing, Dan? Good afternoon. Right then, I'm just bringing all my data up, like I say, because it just told me to refresh everything. Right then. Leclerc, Alonso, Norris out near the end, and Verstappen. How you doing, Dan? Are you expecting any safety cars today? I mean, I don't know. You can get safety cars around here. We've seen it in the past, but who knows, right? First DNF of the season. First DNF of the season. Piastri. The McLarens look fragile, so I'm going to go for one of the McLarens and I'll say Piastri. What do you guys think on first DNF? The McLarens have looked fragile, haven't they? Williams have looked solid, to be fair, Russ. Williams, as far as I know, through testing, were faultless, and they had the second most laps done. So Wolf just admitted defeat before lights out. Well, no, he's just honest. He's just honest. Like, there's no point in sugarcoating it. I think anyone looking at anything knows Mercedes. Look, the reality is, without other cars dropping out or some crazy stuff happening, Mercedes aren't winning this race. You know, and I'm not being harsh. I think even Mercedes fans are on board with that. Some, like, Mercedes fans in chat, on form and everything you can see, can you see Mercedes winning this race without something crazy? You know, and I'm not being harsh. They've shown nothing which would suggest they're up there. You know, and I'm, as I'm seeing Big Fernando get into his car. So come on. Get your predictions in. Top three. Verstappen, Perez, Alonso for me. I think Alonso over long race distance will beat both Ferraris, but I think both Red Bulls will have too much. I love Merck, and I don't think there's a podium for them today, nor the near future. We'll have to see. Won't we? All of the teams are aggressively upgrading going into the season, so we'll have to see. But I'm super excited. Brett thinks Perez, Alonso, Russell. Wow. Look, I'm all for that. That's a different podium than anyone else has said. And look, I'm all for Merck getting on the podium, but I don't see that. I guess you think Max drops out somewhere along the line there. Thank you so much for hanging out, guys. Please do like the stream. It helps tons. Get involved in the conversation in chat. The more people that are chatting, the more people that like the stream, the more YouTube will push it. Do you want to open it? It's a delivery. Yeah, that confused me. You got it? Have you got it? They're all for you anyway. Come. All right. Just close that properly, please. Sorry about that, guys. Right then, we've got the music. Da, 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 da. Here we go then. It's race time. I'm loving the new intro. I do love the new intro. For me, The Chain by Fleetwood Mac is always the intro music, but I love what they've done with the intro. I'm not mad at it. How you doing, guys? I hope you're very well indeed. Welcome to the stream. Please do make sure you are liking the stream and getting aboard the chat. Ooh, ready to go. Okay, I don't know what this is, but I have the data channel open. Been 4 months of waiting. Who do you think will come last? It's so hard to say, isn't it? It's so hard to say. It really, really is so hard to say who's going to come last. You know, I don't tend to think that way. It's caught me off guard when you guys have said the first DNF and stuff. It's challenging because, look, it's hard to know, isn't it? Anything can happen in the first few corners. Anything can happen. You know, anything. But especially with such a tight section in the first corner here. And then once you're through the first few laps, if you get through the first few laps, my pick is a McLaren dropping out. Imagine if Yuki get the P1. I mean, look. I was going to say stranger things have happened, but not many stranger things have happened. Link? I don't even know what that means. But I just turned the TV full blast in the theme tune. Mrs. White, you feel better? You've got to turn up the theme tune. It's got to be done. So then, let's go through the grid for the first Grand Prix of the 2023 season. In 20th, you've got Gasly. 19th, De Vries. 18th, Piastri. 17th, Magnussen. 16th, Sargent. And I'm going to say I'm impressed by that. 15th, Alex Albon. 14th, Tsunoda. Miles in front of De Vries. Surprised by that myself. Zhou and Bottas in 13th and 12th. Norris really doing quite well in that McLaren in 11th. Hülkenberg with a great qualifying in 10th. Ocon miles ahead of his teammate in 9th. And then you've got the first Aston Martin in 8th of Stroll. Hamilton and Russell in 7th and 6th. Then Alonso in 5th. Sainz in 4th. Leclerc in 3rd. Perez in 2nd. And Verstappen on the pole. Oh, are we excited, guys? Are we excited? So, how this works, when I do these watch-alongs, I will count down the lights so you'll know, right? You'll know where I'm at in the start sequence and things like this. And I'll probably commentate the first couple of laps without even, or the first lap at least, without even looking at the chat, because I'm on the internet, I'm streaming, I'm watching it via official sources, but on the internet, so there's a bit of a delay there. Some of you are watching it online with differing sync levels. Some of you are watching it live on TV. So I'll watch the first few laps. That's not my style, to be fair. That's not my style, Joshua. I need to come up with my own catchphrase for the start of the Grand Prix, don't I? But we're seeing all of the cars ready pretty much. They'll make... Here we go. Here we go. Make sure you're hitting that like button, guys. Hit that like button on the stream. We've only got 13 likes and 100 people watching. You right, here we go. All the mechanics are moving away from the cars now as they have got ready for the parade lap, the formation lap. Please do make sure you're hitting that like. You may have to close the chat to do so, but it helps tons. Please do, guys. Please do. And I'll let you know what the cars are doing as I see it. They're just on the grid now, waiting for the time to click down before the formation lap. Just waiting, and it's 6 o'clock local time as Max Verstappen leads the field away. in his pole-sitting Red Bull. And it looks like all the cars are moving away as they should. I don't think I'm seeing any issues further back down the grid. It's a long time since, back in the day, you used to see cars stall and stuff reasonably often back in the day, but it's not really a thing anymore. I suppose that was before the anti-stall and stuff with the cars. I don't think they had that back in the 90s and whatnot, did they? But we're seeing the Red Bulls around 5, 6, and 7, down towards 8 now on the formation lap, on board with Fernando Alonso weaving about the place, getting some heat through the tyres there. Everyone on soft tyres apart from Magnussen, who is on the hard tyres. Very interesting there. Magnussen going on a counter strategy there. So here we go then, guys. They're coming down the back straight down towards turn 11 now. Max Verstappen weaving about the circuit, trying to drive some temperature into the surface of the tyre. Of course, hard braking also helps because it heats up the brake discs and the wheel rim, which in turn heats up the carcass of the tyre. So different ways of heating up the tyres. And they say really that the weaving doesn't do as much as that, but it does as much as the hard braking and developing heat that way. But there are different ways of doing it. It's a fairly quick formation lap. I could be wrong, but I feel like it's a fairly quick formation lap, as indeed we see Max Verstappen backing them up on the penultimate straight there. Seeing a replay here with Lance Stroll into turn 10 with a bit of a lock-up and running wide there. Nothing too much there. He avoided too much of a lock-up. I mean, a little bit silly, really, but it happens somewhere. It happens, but the amount of track left, his tyres will be fine. As we see the cars now lining up on the grid, Max Verstappen leading them onto the grid extremely slowly. This is an interesting start, really, because he seems to have led them round 3/4 of the circuit really quite quickly, and then really, really slow onto the grid. But that could be a tactic. There's nothing wrong with that because, he as the leader within the rules, he's got the right to maintain the pace and stuff. As we see Carlos Sainz line up in 4th place here as the grid are forming up. We're nearly ready for the start of the Grand Prix. I'm going to just commentate it as I see it, guys, and I'll look at the chat after the initial action sort of calms down. On board with Alonso there, as we see Pierre Gasly in the pink Alpine, just lighting up his rears, getting some heat into them, as the Aston Martin medical car joins the back of the grid, and the green flag is waving there. And now we are seeing 1 lights, 2, 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights, and it's lights out. And they're away. Good start there from Max Verstappen. Absolutely horrific start from Perez as he gets squeezed across by Leclerc, nearly into Sainz there, nearly a crash immediately. But everyone avoided everything. Looking back further down the grid, everyone seems to have got through turn 1 and 2 nice and clean as one of the Alfa Romeos goes around the outside of Lando Norris down towards turn 4 as Perez is having a look at Leclerc into turn 4. Doesn't make it stick. Sainz is having a good look as well at Perez as we see Is that Alonso fighting there with Hamilton, potentially? Or is it Russell? It's Russell that Alonso is fighting with as we're looking at turn 8 there now. Very, very close start there. Very, very close start there. Alonso got a horrific run out of turn 4 as we see him come through turn 10 now. It's as we've got Max Verstappen leading, getting a gap on Leclerc, Perez, Sainz, Hamilton, Russell, Alonso. A bit of a front wing end plate has come off someone there. I'm not sure who. Not sure who it's come off there. As the field sort of settled down a little bit, We've got a yellow flag on the track. I'm not sure what for, but yellow flag's in chat if you remember. Not sure who it's for, but we do have the Mercedes flying in formation now. After the first lap, it's Verstappen by 1.2 seconds ahead of Leclerc. Perez a further second back. Sainz behind the two Mercedes there. Alonso, Bottas, Stroll, and Norris making up the top 10. So the big gainer there was Hamilton. I believe he was 7th on the grid, correct? And he's gone from 7th up to 5th there as Hamilton. So a great start there for Hamilton as everyone sort of settles down a little bit. And now they'll try and get a little bit settled in and see what's going on. Seeing a replay now on TV of Lance Stroll into turn 4. Oh, he drove into massive issue there. Massive issue there. Lance Stroll hugely outbraked himself and hit the back of Alonso there. Crazy into turn 4 there. Crazy. But there we are. Is that the front wing end plate then off Lance Stroll? I'm unsure. But we've seen Max Verstappen stretching his legs at the front now, as Bottas is sitting very nicely, in fact, in between the two Aston Martin. I made a note there, in fact, that Lance Stroll was holding the steering wheel very, very, very oddly. Did anyone else notice that? When he hit... Or he seemed to hit him. Can anyone confirm that? He seemed to hit him for me. When he hit Alonso, his left hand wasn't gripping the wheel as you'd expect. His hand was like resting on top still. I think that shock may have hurt him into his palm and down his wrist. That might have been a problem for Lance Stroll there. But I'm not sure. I can't confirm anything. I just noticed that he was holding the wheel very, very weirdly. As we see the Williamses running in 12th and 13th there for Williams. Absolutely great to see that for Williams. There was a fairly huge debris on the track. Yeah, down the back straight, isn't there? Yeah, Rich Stroll tagged the back right of Alonso. Correct. Yeah. Okay, someone is being odd in the chat, so let me just give them a cheeky little timeout. Yeah, so where are we in the Grand Prix? What's going on? I've just been chatting constantly. Now, everyone, we have Verstappen 2 seconds ahead now of Leclerc, Perez, Sainz, the two Mercedes in 5th and 6th, and Alonso, Bottas, Stroll, and Norris making up the top 10. I have to say, that's great running from Norris over a car that doesn't seem to be all that great, does it? As Russell sets a purple first sector there, it's not a huge amount faster than anyone else, but it is 0.3 of a second faster than those behind him. So there is a gap being created behind the two Mercedes back to Alonso in 7th. Alonso reporting he's been hit, not knowing who it was that hit him. Verstappen is Vettel in 2011. Verstappen's just a world champion, isn't he, in a good car? Horrendous start for Hulkenberg. Indeed, Hulkenberg back 4 places, Zhou back 4 places. The big winner there was Bottas, up 4 places in that initial start area. As we're seeing Verstappen stretch his legs now, over 3 seconds in the lead, which is quite incredible considering we're on lap 4 of 57. But Leclerc doing very, very well. Now, it's going to be interesting to see how they last because Norris has just dropped back, actually, from 10th to 12th. I haven't seen anything on my screen yet, but Norris has just dropped out of the points with Ocon and Albon overtaking him. Maybe I'll see something in a moment come up on my live feed, but that is a change of position there for Norris. Did anyone see that? Maybe he ran wide down into turn 10, but I'm not sure what happened there. But he did just lose 2 places, and he's right on the back of both Albon and Ocon now. Come on, Alonso. Come on, Alonso. Please do hit that like button on the stream, guys. It really, really helps. There are 280 wonderful people in here right now, but only 27 likes on the stream. You may have to close the chat box and then hit the like, but then rejoin the chat. But it helps so much. Thank you so much. As we see, Lance Stroll up the inside there of Bottas. I don't know if he made it stick, but also there was a lockup, I think, from Leclerc into turn 1. And indeed, Lance Stroll did make it stick and continues to stay ahead down through to turn 4 as he had the DRS advantage out of turn 2. So that worked out very well there for Lance Stroll. Now we have Red Bull, Ferrari, 2 Mercedes, 2 Aston Martins. When DRS, I don't know what that means. Alonso is in 7th currently. I don't think there'll have been any damage there to Alonso. No further investigation for that incident at turn 4 between Alonso, but just a little replay here on Leclerc into turn 1, and that was quite a significant lockup actually into turn 1 for Leclerc. That will have made his front right a bit like a 50p piece as he ran wide there. Max is checking out for sure. Max and that Red Bull are tuned in, aren't they? They are tuned in to... They're just doing great, aren't they? There's not much more to be said. As Magnussen now is last on the hard tyres, it'll be interesting to see how long into the Grand Prix he goes, but maybe this hard tyre gamble isn't paying off because he's some 2 seconds off the back of De Vries now in last place. So it looks like Perez has a tear-off stuck on the pitot tube on the front of his car, and the pitot tube tells the engineers the speed, well, the air pressure and the speed of the car. The gap is now 4.2 seconds after 6 laps at the front here. As we see, Logan Sargent is on the back of Lando Norris now. Lando Norris seems to be fading pretty quickly after a good start. Interested to see how reliable that Red Bull is. It's fast, but is it reliable over a full race? I'd say yes. They've showed nothing but great reliability all preseason testing. So yeah, I don't think I don't think there's going to be any issue with reliability for the Red Bulls, honestly. A big winner, though, still Bottas sitting in the points. Albon up 4 places, Sargent up 3 places, right on the back, as I said, of Norris. This is really good running for the Williamses, all on the same tyres, as Magnussen is dropping even further back off the field. I think Haas have got it wrong, frankly, here with running the hard tyre, but who knows? Later on in the race, he could be absolutely flying on a new set of softs. Who knows later on in the race. But the gap is quite large now at the front. Verstappen back to Leclerc, back to Perez, and then Sainz just ahead of the 2 Mercedes. The 2 Mercedes driving along within half a second of each other in 5th and 6th, which, it's not bad to see. It's not bad to see. They were expecting to be around a second off the pace versus Max Verstappen, which, honestly, what is it? 9.9 seconds. It's more than that. It's more than a second per lap that the Mercedes are off the leader at the moment, being 10 seconds behind after 7 laps, or on the 7th lap. So it just shows you in race trim how quick that Red Bull and Max Verstappen are, because Perez is even more than 5 seconds off the back, but Perez is still very, very close to the back of Leclerc. It's going to be interesting to see how long they make these soft tyres last at the beginning of this Grand Prix. Thank you so much for hanging out today, guys. Please make sure you're hitting that subscribe button down below if you like watch-along content. Also, I'm live every Monday to Friday, 9 a.m. UK time with the latest F1 news in a 30-minute news show, as well as random F1 content throughout the week, and also watch-alongs of every single Formula One session of the season. So please do hit that subscribe button. Looks to me like Russell is quicker than Ham at this phase of the race. It's difficult to say, isn't it? It's difficult to say. Williams drivers in history. I don't know what your point is, Mario. How you doing, Philip? Maybe. But then again, remember, Russell does have the DRS, right? Let me have a look. Alonso is catching up to the back of the Mercedes. On the last lap, he was some 0.3 faster than Russell there. So, yeah, it's curious to see. Norris is really struggling in front of Sargent. So you could see Sargent get in front of Norris shortly. Tsunoda indeed is reporting a possible tear-off in his left side pod. Can Leclerc even catch up to Verstappen? No. Otherwise, he would be. So I think no. The two Mercedes are off the pace of the two Red Bulls. Yes. 12 seconds in 8 laps. So, yep, they are more than a second a lap slower than the Red Bulls at the moment. Russell, did Russell just run wide there? I think he did, didn't he? Radio? Russell has just said he's got more pace. And Lewis is struggling. So, yeah, you were right there, Gled. Russell's got more pace, he thinks. Alonso is indeed gaining on the... Yeah, he is gaining quite quickly on the Mercedes. Lock-up there. A lock-up there for... a lock-up there for George Russell into turn 10. Always a difficult corner. Oh, right then, we're 9 laps in to the Grand Prix. It's Verstappen 6 seconds ahead of Leclerc, Perez, Sainz, Hamilton, Russell, Alonso and Stroll. It's going to be interesting to see how they manage the Mercedes now, isn't it? And what they do with Russell saying he thinks it's got more pace, but then running wide. So, Sainz is on the used softs though, right, Gled? Sainz is on the used softs, whereas I think Leclerc is on new softs. Is that right? I think that's correct. Let me try and get that data up. Yeah, so Leclerc, his tyres are 3 laps newer than anyone else's in the top 10, apart from Bottas. So, yeah. So here we go. We've got Fernando Alonso into the DRS of George Russell. There will be no chill from Fernando Alonso. If he gets the opportunity to pass, he will be doing it. And Lance Stroll close behind as well. If Mercedes were going to swap them around, he probably should do it. Verstappen. Downshifts giving a bit of rear locking. I'm just looking. Is the gap coming down to Verstappen at the front? Oh, we're seeing an Alpine in the pits. No, the gap isn't coming down at all. I thought it was coming down there, but the gap isn't coming down. It's on the screen for you. Not a touch early, maybe a lap or two early. They were expecting lap 12 onto the hard tyres there for the Alpine. Yeah, not a great stop there for Gasly. Alonso is basically on the gearbox of Russell now. So Alonso firmly in the DRS of George Russell. Verstappen. Verstappen being told to change some settings and to let Red Bull know whether his downshifts get fixed. Can Leclerc catch up? I'd say no, but we'll have to see. We'll have to see, won't we? So we indeed now, basically, Fernando Alonso is with George Russell. So we're probably going to see some action here shortly. It'll have more of an effect later in the season, Colin. That's kind of how it works, mate. Later on in the season, it's going to have more of an effect. Gasly should have started on the hards as to gain places when the soft runners pit for fresh rubber. Maybe, as Gasly is... Alonso is right... Oh, we've cut away from Alonso on the back there. Piastri has gone past, or is... Yeah, Piastri has gone past Hülkenberg now. I'm on board with Alonso now. He looked very close through turn 4. He didn't get past. He is right on him, though. He is right on him. Very different lines through turn 9 there for Alonso and Russell. Alonso's going to have the DRS down towards turn 11. Is Alonso going to have a move? It doesn't look like it, but he's right on him as Russell goes a touch defensive there. But they are right next to each other now. Yeah, Fernando is nearly driving up the back of that Mercedes of George Russell. On to the second to last straight now, towards the final corner. You're probably going to see Fernando try and line up for a pass down the start-finish straight. This is what we thought would happen, that the Mercedes is somewhat weaker in the long runs. Russell on the radio. I think his tyres are done. Lando's got an engine issue, had to fill the hydraulics up on the pit stop. Thanks for that. Didn't see that, as we see the Mercedes in the pits with the hard tyres and now going back into the pits. As we see Albon pit and Bottas pit. Magnussen is still out on the hard tyres, keeping an eye on what they're going to put on here. Alonso looking at Russell into turn 4 again there. How you doing, Liam? Nice little dice here. It does look like Alonso's quicker, but doesn't quite have the delta to get past here. Alonso really trying to straight line the exits. We might see, if it's within strat, we might see Aston Martin try and pass in the pits here. Down towards turn 11. It's not... Ocon. Inaccurate grid position. Will that be classed as a jump start there? Will that be classed as a jump start? Oh, Alonso's right on the back. Onto the penultimate straight now. He's right on the back, going up to the final corner. Has a little look into the final corner, but doesn't go for it. Hamilton on the radio, box for Hamilton. We might see Alonso have a run down into the first corner, DRS wide open, but it just seems that Mercedes has enough in a straight line for him to stay ahead of that Aston Martin. As Alonso tries to straight line the exit of 2 and 3, DRS should be open down towards turn 4. Alonso's got a wheel alongside down towards turn 4, and he is in front of George Russell. But George Russell hangs it out around the outside of turn 4. Somehow, George Russell side by side with Fernando Alonso through 6 and 7, but Alonso does make it stick down into turn 8. That was great racing. Great racing. I didn't think George Russell would be able to hang it on around the outside there, but he did a great job. But ultimately, had to give it up Had to give it up there, as now Lance Stroll is right on the back of the Mercedes. The Mercedes really struggling on this long run pace. And what we saw with the Ferraris, are they dropping back? Let's have a look. It doesn't seem so. It doesn't seem so. So maybe Ferrari have done some good work on their long run pace, but we did see the Mercedes and the Ferraris drop off on long runs, and it does seem that way for them, quite honestly. How are you watching the race? What do you mean? Eh? Magic. There we go. Very quick stop, it seemed, there for Ferrari. Double stacking. Both putting on the hard tyres, I think. Hard tyres for Hamilton as well. Mercedes, slow stop for Russell. Slow stop for Russell, definitely. Very slow stop. Gearbox. Steering wheel swap for Piastri in the pit stop. What link am I using? F1 TV. So I'd be interested to see Piastri's stop, honestly. Really bad stop, though, for Russell. It's really going to have hurt him there. There we go. Piastri's stop. Oh, mate. That did not work very quickly for Piastri. That did not work for Piastri. As we see the world champion box onto another set of softs. Was that? Was that another set of softs that he took there? As Alonso boxes? As we see Alonso box onto hard tyres as well. Can you show us what you're seeing? No. That would be what they would call illegal. So no, I can't. Sorry, mate. As we see Alonso out of the pits in front of George Russell there. Guys, have I got this right that Piastri is going to be the first DNF of the season? I wish I'd have put money. That's 2 bets I wish I'd put money on. So it's interesting to see. Hamilton's slightly earlier stop has him 6 seconds ahead of Alonso now. And really, they were quite close. But obviously, Alonso's tyres are a lot newer. So I'll refresh it. There's not much I can do apart from that. Thanks, guys. If it stopped moving, there's not much I can do. Leclerc's just flying past everyone, apparently. But there you go. Can I send a link? I mean, Google it. Google it. F1 TV, mate. You could have Googled it with less words. Piastri out. I'm sad that I got that right. I'm sad that I got that right, quite honestly. I am very sad that I got that right. Piastri out of the race, it seems, as we see Stroll into the pit as well. Perez still hasn't pitted off of the softs. Neither has Stroll. Norris has put softs on again. Albon has put softs on again. Please do make sure you're hitting that subscribe button down below, guys. Thanks a lot. Yeah, Bottas is in front of Alonso and Russell now. Let me Google that link for Google, Rob. So, Bottas is having a brilliant race. He did stop. He's basically undercut Alonso and Russell, has Bottas. So, doing a great job, Bottas, in the Alfa Romeo. Perez doesn't make much sense to me. Why is he still out there? Why is Perez still out on 16 lap old tyres? So Alonso is right on the back of Bottas now with DRS down towards turn 4. DRS wide open. He's going to have to go around the outside, and he's made it. He's made it on the DRS into turn 4. Has Fernando Alonso, and now it's up to George Russell to get past. So Alonso moves up to 6th place. Perez, the king of tyre management, except he's going a second a lap slower than everyone else. So it's probably not the best idea. So they're very old tyres. We're going to see soft tyres. Soft tyres going on to Perez. I'm not sure what this strategy is for Perez and Red Bull, but we're seeing another set of softs. It means that, I mean, it's an aggressive strat, but that's cost him loads of time. Loads of time. As we see Leclerc go past comfortably. Very interesting move that from I don't know. I don't know if that's going to work. Russell with his DRS wide open behind Bottas into turn 1. But also Bottas has DRS because of Alonso just ahead. It looked like Bottas was slow through the exit of turn 1, 2 and through 3 up towards turn 4. Oh, Russell goes round the outside. That's interesting because they both had DRS. It just seemed that Bottas was slow off the corner there. Let's have a look real quick. Bottas's tyres are only like 2 or 3 laps older. So, yeah, I think that's just the difference in tyres. Ham gaining on Sainz? Negative. Last lap, Hamilton was 0.6 slower than Sainz, but Alonso is catching Hamilton by 0.6 a lap at the moment. So expect to see Alonso catching up to the back of the Mercedes shortly. We'll have to see how that pans out, won't we? We'll have to see how that pans out. The track map's working as intended now, isn't it? Where's my mouse? There. Right then. So, a sit rep, 19 laps in. You've got Verstappen in first place, going about a tenth of a second a lap faster than Leclerc. Then Perez, who's just boxed. Sainz, Hamilton, Alonso, Russell, Bottas, Stroll, and Albon making up the top 10. Albon going on a slightly more aggressive strat there with the softs in the middle stint as well. Sargent has dropped down to 13th. Piastri is out. 1/3 of the race over, and Verstappen leads by 10 seconds. Indeed, he does. Maybe, Dan. Maybe. It's close in the midfield, though, which is good. Don't know, Mario. Don't know, dude. Perez is on a personal best lap now, but he is on those scrub softs. Interesting to note, Perez's tyres were 3 laps old when he put them on. McLaren are just nowhere. No, but I did report just before the race that they're hoping, well, they know they've got some upgrades coming that will make the car faster. But Perez is going only slightly quicker than Leclerc, to be honest. But both of the Red Bulls on soft tyres. I don't really know what's going on with Strat here, honestly. They are new softs, though. No, they're not. They're old softs for... No, the new softs for Verstappen. There is the scrubs for Perez, according to the tyre data. I don't know how correct that is, but it is a shame that that Piastri has retired. Again, I'm sad that I called that. Merck's so slow on long run. I've been saying this as Alonso is still going, well, last lap 0.3 of a second faster than Hamilton. So Alonso is catching as Russell is dropping back. Stroll is doing about the same times as Russell as well. Norris is going quite quickly, back in 19th. My lord, though, that's bad for McLaren, isn't it? Wish Vettori did better. I mean, he's doing well when you consider his teammates down in 15th. De Vries up 5 places. Yeah, that is good to see. He's racing well. I'm still surprised by Sargent. Perez with the fastest lap of the race there. I think. Yeah. Yeah. Norris radio. So Norris being told the car ahead is Ocon and is served a penalty. As Alonso continues to catch Hamilton. And Stroll just took half a second out of Russell. Tsunoda is also catching a little bit on Albon. It's bad seeing Lewis and George on this kind of situation. What situation? Oh, Ocon jumped the start. Oh dear. So Ocon has served his penalty incorrectly because they got to work on his car straight away. Oh, another lock up there into the first corner from Leclerc. So Leclerc is pushing and it's costing him time, really. Last lap, half a second, Perez took out of him. But Perez is on the softs, so we've got a little bit of strategy difference going on now. Well, this is sort of what we expected from the Mercedes cars. And honestly, I expected the Ferraris to drop off more because the story before the season was that the Ferraris were just chewing their tires up, right? The Williams performance is good so far, but they are on softs for the second time, so they should be faster right now. So we'll just have to see how they do. Perez is setting green sectors first and second sector as well, so expect another fastest lap of the race here from Perez. Clearly been told to push, and he is catching Leclerc quite quickly here. The Ferraris are faring better than expected. That's true. That is true. Indeed, the Mercedes are losing time every lap, but it's not a huge amount. Stroll's losing more to Russell, you know, than Hamilton is to Alonso. But yes, indeed, Leclerc there lost a second that lap to Perez. Perez, the fastest man on track by quite a long way, actually. Leclerc slowing down? Not really. Leclerc isn't slowing down. It's just Perez is on soft tyres and Leclerc's on hard tyres. That's all. McLaren becoming the new Williams. Well, we'll see. Could that be talent or injury related? Stroll to Russell. Sorry? What? I don't know what you mean, Philip. Has Perez boxed yet? Yes, everyone's boxed. Could that be talent or injury related? Stroll to Russell. Is Russell injured? Because Stroll's catching him. I'm confused. So we're seeing Norris fighting Ocon here for 18th and 19th place. It's all gone so wrong for Alpine, hasn't it, this? No, Stroll's catching. The other way around, Philip. Perez is lapping... Well, I mean, the Red Bulls are on soft tyres and are lapping very closely to each other. So, yeah, Leclerc is lapping faster than anyone apart from Alonso on those hard tyres. So Leclerc isn't slowing down. Leclerc's going really, really, really quick. So Ferrari reporting degradation on the hard tyre is lower than expected. Purple second sector there for Perez with the DRS, no doubt. Chasing down Leclerc. Alonso lapping Perez in striking distance of Leclerc, yeah. Ocon's got another penalty, 10 second. Ocon's having a nightmare. Perez all over the back of Leclerc now. Again, Alonso was half a second faster than Hamilton on the last one. Stroll was 2/10 faster than Russell. So Alonso has been managing a radio conversation there. Alonso's been managing tyres, and he's saying that Mercedes have got more deg. So it's interesting to see what happens here. Happens here. Do you think Red Bull is sacrificing some of their straight line speed was a better move? Well, I'm not sure they particularly have. All the data was showing they haven't done that, so I don't know. As we see, Perez through turn one there. Through goes Perez on turn one on Leclerc. It was only a matter of time, though. Totally different tyres. It was only a matter of time, and has DRS down towards turn four and makes it stick. Makes it stick there. So Perez through into second place. So we have 2 Red Bulls, 2 Ferraris, Hamilton, Alonso, Russell, Stroll, Bottas, Albon, making up the top 10 there. Hamilton radio. So the basically Mercedes are managing the tyres as well with Hamilton. So it's more a case of other teams improving their straight line speed than Red Bull giving it up. It just seemed to me like they're not as dominant on the straights as they were last season. Well, yeah, other teams have improved. It's not like they have. It's not like they've gone, oh, let's sacrifice some speed or whatever, you know? We've got Hulkenberg, Tsunoda, and Albon in the pits now, changing tyres. We need you to pick up the pace. Sorry, guys, I'm trying to sort out my connection because it seems to be a bit dodgy at the minute. So I don't know what's going on with it, honestly. I really don't know what's going on with it. Oh, Ocon speeding in the pit lane. I don't agree, Jace. I don't agree in any way. VST now pulling away from Perez while Perez holds up Leclerc. That's the Red Bull strat. It's difficult for Perez to hold up Leclerc while Leclerc is going like 1.5 seconds a lap slower and nearly 4 seconds behind. So that's not the strat at all, Jace. Ferrari just are slow compared. Ocon's having an absolute nightmare, isn't he? He's having an absolute nightmare. Damage to the front wing of Hulkenberg there. And then are they struggling to change it or something? Not sure, but they're just showing on TV the change as we see Norris box now. As hydraulic. Oh, my lord. It's all going wrong, isn't it? It's all going wrong for them. It's all going wrong for McLaren. Norris third box and now on mediums. No, he didn't. He didn't change tires according to. Oh, he is. Yeah, you're right. He did. Got different. Oh yeah, he's just pitted now. You're just ahead of me. So we're just past half distance. What lap are we on? Yeah, 29 of 57. Verstappen with a 13.6 second lead over Perez. Leclerc in third, 5 seconds back of Perez. Sainz in fourth and Hamilton in fifth. With Hamilton just setting his personal best lap of the race. Them Aston Martins are quick. They're going to be the dark horses this season, methinks. Salute Sports News from Cameron, as per. Welcome to the stream. Alonso in sixth, Russell in seventh, Stroll still just behind Russell, Bottas in ninth, Sargent in 10th position. Please do make sure you've hit that subscribe button down below and hit the like on the stream, guys. Welcome, welcome, welcome. How are you all doing? Hope you're doing very, very well today. Who are you on about, Gerard? I'm starting to feel sorry for Norris. They should just retire him unless it's just for the data gathering. He's not getting into the points of making meaningful gains. Well, they'll have to run him, don't they? They'll probably retire him before the end, but this running is invaluable for data. Like, you know, it'd be nearly silly to retire him, honestly. Right then. What can any of the teams do? I just don't see it. It's a shame, isn't it? Almost. We're seeing the Red Bulls unfazed so far by any penalty that may have been put on them with the cost cap breach and things like that, as Verstappen sets a personal best first sector on 15-lap-old soft tyres. Hamilton boxes now. Hamilton box. Hamilton box. It says it at the bottom there. Lap count. We're on lap 31. Another set of hard tyres. That'll probably be the last stop, I guess. Indeed, as we see, Stroll box and Sargent box. Imagine if Merc follows Red Bull's sidepod concept, just like what other teams do. Well, the other teams don't, Joshua. That's the reality of the situation. The Ferrari don't. You know, there are plenty of other teams with different sidepods. You know, Williams look decent this year, don't they? They do look decent. Which is what I was hoping for, honestly. Bottas with a purple final sector there, but he's on brand new hard tyres. Who's new to the stream today? Anyone new in here today? Welcome, welcome, welcome. My name's Rich. This is TSK F1. I'm live for all of the sessions this season and doing watch-alongs in Formula One. Also, I'm live Monday to Friday at 9 a.m. UK time with the latest in F1 news, as well as YouTube shorts and other stuff. So please do make sure you hit that subscribe button down below. Astons hit each other. What? What are you on about, Gerard? What? Cheers, Jace. Thank you. As we see Russell boxing as well. Good pit there. 2.5 seconds there for Russell. Stroll looking to have undercut Russell. This is going to be really close into turn one. As Russell leaves the box, now probably going to get DRS Stroll here down into turn four. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. Stroll right up behind Russell as they go down to turn four, and indeed, Stroll has DRS. Stroll's looking to the outside as Russell goes defensive on the inside, and Lance Stroll basically just drives around George Russell. And there we go. Lance Stroll now chasing Lewis Hamilton. One thing I was wondering, Rich, by the end of the season, they will have less and less time in the wind tunnel, so they may struggle. I'm talking about Red Bull. Yes, indeed. But I don't think they'll struggle. I think they're that far ahead, they won't struggle, but they'll just not be able to update as quick. Well played there by Stroll. I mean, you know. Oh, Stroll with the fastest lap of the race there with a 36.5. That is fast. That was fast from Stroll. A 36.5 was way over a second faster than anyone else on the track. That was a fast lap from Stroll. He caught a full second on Hamilton that lap. It was, I mean, obviously Verstappen's on really old tyres, but it was 1.1 seconds faster than Verstappen. That was a really, really quick lap from Lance Stroll there. Very quick indeed. Massive speed there. Thanks for the subscribe, though. Jace, really appreciate that, dude. Really do appreciate that. Massive penalties for Ocon. 15-second penalty now. Crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy. As we see Charles Leclerc box now for a fresh set of hard tyres. How was that stopped? Let's see. As Alonso needs to pit still, right? Alonso overtakes, though. Alonso's pace isn't bad this deep into the stint. It isn't bad. He is losing time, but it isn't bad. Maybe he's going to be on different tyres. Maybe Alonso's going to jump onto different tyres at the end. I don't know what tyres he has available, but maybe he's going to try and extend long enough to put a softer set of tyres on. We haven't seen anyone using the medium tyres, have we? So maybe he's going to put a set of mediums on as we see Perez box from second place. DRS. Who? What? Why? Where? Please do make sure you hit the like on the stream, guys. It really, really helps. Why hard again for Leclerc to get to the end? Marcella. Tyre degradation in Bahrain is absolutely huge. Oh, that was a bit weird. That was a bit weird. Perez went to go there, but they were still in the way. Aston Martin coming out into the pits as well there, we saw at the bottom of top of camera. But we did see that. We did see that. At the end of the Grand Prix, or towards the end of the Grand Prix, I'm going to share a link in chat, guys, for you to share your driver ratings for this race. And later on today, or tonight, I'm going to make a video based on those ratings. So please do take part when I share that link. I'm going to watch the football. Oh, dude. Oh, dude. My connection's being annoying today, and I can only apologise for that, guys. Don't know why it's doing it, but it is. And I can only apologise. Stroll fastest lap with the DRS. Well, yeah, but fastest lap is fastest lap. It's irrelevant. Alonso with 2 purple sectors there in 6th place. He is just a second behind Hamilton here. Very interesting. I know, but hate Red Bull and I can't stand to see Horner's face with a 1-2 at the end of the race. Red Bull ready for someone here. I'm not sure who, but they're getting ready for someone. And it's for, oh yeah, it's Verstappen. Of course it is, because we've seen Perez stop. I don't know why I got confused there. Alonso is right on the back of Hamilton. I don't know why we're not seeing it, or I'm not seeing it. Like, Alonso is less than half a second behind. Maybe there's just a bit of lag on TV, but I feel like that's the battle we should be seeing other than Verstappen exiting the pits, frankly. Alonso with a purple first sector there. It seems like there's a bit of a battle going on. There we go. Now I've got it on my TV. So we could see a little bit of a battle here. Down the start, finish straight. Fastest lap of the race for Alonso, that lap. Oh, Alonso closed right up in braking for turn 1 there. You've got to say more than one word, Gerard. I don't know why you're saying Verstappen. Oh, Alonso's gone up the inside into turn 4 on Fernando Alonso. Oh, something. Was that contact? What happened there? Did he just slide there, Alonso? What happened there? That was very odd. What happened? I don't even know what happened there. Oh. Or did it just go wrong for Alonso? I don't actually know what happened there. I don't think there was contact. But I would like to see a replay of that. I don't know what happened there. Anyone in chat that saw that properly, please do let me know. Don't forget, guys, hit that subscribe button down below for all the best F1 content. It just is. Hit that subscribe button down below. Perez with a purple final sector there. People banging in the personal best, but here we go. Alonso with the DRS open behind Lewis Hamilton down towards turn 1 again. He won't make the move, I don't think, this corner. Showing his nose there. It'll be down towards turn 4 that he goes for it again. We haven't had a replay of what happened in turn 4. I feel like Alonso lit up the rear tyres and it just cost him traction. As he has DRS again, he has a look, but he doesn't go for it. He tries to widen out the track there and get good exit at turn 4. Does Alonso. This is a good defence here from Lewis Hamilton. Through 6 and 7, down towards turn 8. And you can... Oh, Alonso is like swarming all over the gearbox of Lewis Hamilton. He gets to the outside, going up towards turn 9 and 10. No way around the outside there. Down to the inside in turn 10, and he makes it stick. Beautiful pass there from Fernando Alonso. Beautiful pass there for Alonso. Unreal pass, and why that's unreal there is because it is so easy to lock up the fronts even under normal circumstances. Fantastic pass there. Fantastic pass from Fernando Alonso. Is Lewis Hamilton going to be able to keep up with the DRS in his advantage now? It'd be great to see a back and forth battle here. Alonso very happy with that pass on the radio. Very good pass that. Really, really good. But let's see if Lewis Hamilton can keep up with him now. It was I've got a replay of the turn 4 now. No contact. No, there was no contact there. It looks like Fernando Alonso just lit up the rears out of turn 4. Fantastic pass from Fernando Alonso. Fantastic pass, honestly. Well played there. Lewis Hamilton as well. Great fair defence all over up until that point. As Lewis Hamilton's having a look into turn 4, doesn't make anything happen though. Great. This is what a lot of people have wanted to see for many, many years. Lewis Hamilton and Fernando Alonso having a battle, and they are extremely close still. Wait till they catch Sainz, then the tasty three-way battle. They are catching Sainz. Good spot there by Jace. They are in this pair that are battling, are catching Carlos Sainz. So Sainz is going to have to speed up to stay ahead. So great to see this battle. Two of the greatest drivers on the grid here battling as Lewis Hamilton is in the DRS also now on the back straight up towards turn 11 and up the hill. 2 laps, F1 think it will be until Fernando Alonso catches Carlos Sainz. Sainz's tyres aren't all that much older. This is on race pace that we could see Alonso and Hamilton catch up to Sainz, and that would be great to see. While the Red Bulls are away and gone up the road, we could still see some great racing action here in Bahrain. Lewis Hamilton remains within the DRS of Fernando Alonso, I believe. He does. So as Fernando is, let me just see, catching 0.2 a lap on Carlos Sainz, Hamilton is staying with him with the aid of that DRS. So that's really good to see for Mercedes fans. While he did get past, he is now sort of tagging along on the journey up towards Carlos Sainz, which could ultimately end up in Hamilton getting past both of them. You never know. You never know what's going to happen. Norris just watching the battle indeed. What can you say about McLaren? What can you say about McLaren? Honestly, it's not great, is it? It's not great. What Ocon unhappy about his penalty. Please do hit that subscribe down below, guys. Please help support smaller creators because, I don't know, I'm trying to bring you guys something I don't think many other creators on the platform are bringing you. Live commentary of the entire race and all sessions throughout the season. Yellow flag. Yellow flag! Oh! Leclerc! Leclerc is out of the race! Charles Leclerc is out of the race! No power! Charles Leclerc is out of the race. Whoever it was at the beginning of the race said that they're going to see Ferrari reliability issues. You were correct. I didn't see it happen, but no power for Charles Leclerc. Now we have a three-way battle three-way battle potentially for the final podium position as Alonso and Hamilton continue to catch Carlos Sainz. We could have a three driver battle for the final podium position. VSC called. If you are a supporter of the channel, you get to use the VSC emoji now as we listen to Charles Leclerc. It just died. It's just died. It's just died. It just went, didn't it? That was... Normally, you hear a banging or a clanking. It just died. Disappointing. Disappointing for Ferrari fans there. Now, is anyone going to pit? We are seeing pit stops from Albon, Gasly, Tsunoda, Sargent, Magnussen, Hulkenberg. We are seeing lots of pit stops here. No one at the front is taking a pit stop. Verstappen could have taken a free one, as could have Perez if they had any tyres. Oh, here we are. We are seeing Red Bull out in the pit lane with some soft tyres. So it's not Red Bull. This is big. All I can say is the only thing I heard about reliability in pre-season for Ferrari was a slight oil leak, which they fixed almost immediately. Okay, so a little bit of a sit rep. It is hotting up for the final podium position. We have Carlos Sainz, Alonso and Hamilton all in the fight for this. And Alonso and Hamilton were faster than Sainz before that VSC. So we'll keep an eye on these gaps very, very, very closely. Hamilton remains in the DRS of Alonso. And yeah, we'll just keep an eye on these gaps and see if they can keep it going as the VSC is over now. Green flags in chat if you're a member. I mean, look, I'd love to see Alonso on the podium. And I did call, I think, Verstappen, Perez, Alonso as the podium. Indeed, the gap is coming down even more. 1.8 seconds back now from Sainz to Alonso as Hamilton has dropped back a touch from... Hamilton's dropped back from Alonso somewhat there. You did say it. I gave you props in chat. I didn't see it coming, but there you go. It happened. We do have Gasly on fresh softs now. He could make some moves, but he is 19 seconds back from Bottas. Oh, we've got some battles down the back of the field here with the AlphaTauris battling. The AlphaTauri teammates battling here side by side. Who's that behind just there? Is it Zhou? I think it is Zhou. As we see Ocon pit again. Don't know where Norris is. Don't know where Norris is. So, the gap is down even more. Alonso, 1.3 seconds behind third place, Carlos Sainz. Hamilton is dropping back now. He's lost the DRS. But once Alonso catches up to Sainz, I think net, Hamilton is still... I don't know if that's the right term. Hamilton is still catching Sainz. Hamilton is still catching Sainz, just not as quickly as Alonso. Alonso went some 0.7 of a second quicker than Hamilton last lap, as Alonso is about to enter DRS for the podium position, as we see Ocon retiring. I mean, it's about time, really. It's about time, really. What happened to Leclerc? Engine, just nothing. It was really, really weird. And there we go. We're seeing on TV now that Alonso is hunting third place Carlos Sainz, and he's been catching him fairly relentlessly. So, yeah, curious to see. Long run pace, though. Long run pace. We've been saying this. We've been saying this since pre-season. Long run pace of the Ferraris hasn't been good, and this is proving true. As Alonso is just outside DRS, approaching the final sector, he might get into it for... There we go. Alonso is within DRS now at the start of the 44th lap. Hamilton still catching Sainz as well, so it's looking like Alonso could get on the podium and Hamilton could get fourth from Sainz. So here we go, Alonso right on the back up towards turn 4 here. Oh, Yuki Tsunoda. Oh, Yuki Tsunoda. So, Alonso is right there. Now, is Carlos Sainz going to slow down Alonso enough that Hamilton catches even more? 57 laps. As Fernando Alonso has the DRS on Carlos Sainz down the back straight, but I think he's just not quite close enough as they go up the hill through 11 and 12. Carlos Sainz on the radio. So Sainz being told to defend his position, and he's being told he won't make it to the end if he pushes. So the tyres are gone on the Ferrari. We've heard this all pre-season, that up towards turn 4. DRS wide open up towards turn 4. Is Alonso going to go for it this lap? He does. Round to the outside of Sainz. Is he going to go for the cutback? He does. Oh, he nearly runs into the back of Carlos Sainz. He very nearly run into the back of Carlos Sainz there as Sainz went a touch defensive as Alonso had the overspeed. That was absolutely crazy. Wowzers, wowzers, wowzers. Through turn 8. And there we go as Alonso's looking to the outside and he looks up the inside. He can't make it work down into turn 10. Sainz with a massive lock up into turn 10. DRS wide open out of turn 10 and he slips into the draft and Sainz goes defensive, but Alonso makes it work up the inside into turn 11. There we go. There we go. There we go. And there we go. Alonso through and past Carlos Sainz there. Very, very close racing there. Now, Hamilton is within DRS. That has cost Carlos Sainz loads of time. Hamilton is now within striking distance of Carlos Sainz. I do not see how Carlos Sainz can defend, apart from the fact he's now got the DRS for Alonso. So this is going to be interesting. Can Hamilton get past Carlos Sainz? He was going marginally quicker. He was going marginally quicker. As we see the DRS open for Sainz and Hamilton chasing Alonso. Alonso's really got a push now to break that DRS from Sainz, but Hamilton is much closer now, half a second behind. It was very interesting there. Oh, I think there was wheel-to-wheel contact. Front left wheel on the rear right wheel. Oh no, it was just missed. Just missed. That was so close. So close. It really, really was. Sainz out of the DRS of Alonso now. Sainz somewhat of a sitting duck for Hamilton, who is in 5th place, looking towards 4th place of Sainz now as Alonso pulls away. Which lap is going on? We are on a lap 47 of 57. 10 laps to go. Please do hit that subscription button down below, guys. If you are new to the channel, it really, really helps. Thank you so much to the many of you that have already subscribed to the channel. But if you like watch-along content, please do. As Lewis Hamilton closes right up to the back of Carlos Sainz into turn 1, through turn 2 and turn 3, we'll have the DRS wide open towards turn 4. Is he going to have enough overspeed to have a go into turn 4? It doesn't look like it. As he looks up the inside, Sainz leaves the door open because he thinks he knows Hamilton isn't close enough. Hamilton's going to have a look down the back straight now. Though Hamilton does look like he's struggling with the rears a little bit as well. On the exit of turn 4, it still looks like Sainz has got more grip. Quite honestly, looking at the onboards, it looks like Lewis is more rear limited than Sainz, and the DRS is really helping. For me, yeah, a bit of a lock up there for Lewis into turn 10. It's looking like his tyres are very, very second-hand. Hamilton's tyres 16 laps old. They're going to be very old by the end, in fact. As, yeah, Albon onto some fresh softs as well. I think Lewis is struggling with those tyres, honestly. I really do. Alonso on the radio. Yes, bye-bye. Sainz is toast once he loses DRS. He hasn't got DRS from Alonso. Hamilton's really struggling on his tyres. Hamilton is really struggling on his tyres. Otherwise, he'd be passed already. And Norris is just sitting behind them. Norris is absolutely miles off anyone, so he's just sat there, I think. I don't think he'll be involving himself in this too much. Okay, guys, I'm going to share a link with the chat now. This is for driver ratings. Science Radio. Bouncing. Right then. Bahrain driver ratings, guys. 1 minute. Right then, guys, there is something in the chat now. Go and do your driver ratings at that link. The average is 6, so anything above 6, they've driven better than average. Anything below 6, they've driven worse than average, okay? And share your ratings, and later on today, if enough people respond, I will be doing a video on those responses. So please do go and rate the drivers and pick your driver of the day. Please do, guys. I don't know what's going on with my internet connection. It's really, really bugging me now. I'm going to have to try and figure something out for the next race. Honestly, because it's very frustrating, and I'm very sorry, guys. Well, if you go and vote on your driver of the day, then I'll know that. Well, someone's been an idiot already, which is annoying. I mean, honestly. Well, someone's already ruined it. Like, why would you do that? It's a shame. Someone's already ruined it, which is a shame, honestly. It's a shame. someone's already voted 1 for everyone, but given George Russell and Lewis Hamilton 10. Like, it's annoying. It's annoying. I thought it was a fun thing, but someone's already ruined it. You're fun. Or what I would like to call a complete idiot. But there we go. I don't think this race has been covered well. We haven't seen much of other teams at front. What do you want to see? Verstappen's in the lead by 10 seconds over Perez, who's 25 seconds. Do you want to see a Red Bull running around on its own? And we haven't seen much of the other teams or other midfield. Everything has been focused on Merck and Aston because that's where the race has been, Philip. No one else is close to each other. Tsunoda's 1.2 seconds behind Albon. Every other car is at least 5 seconds apart. There's nothing else to show. Look at the timings. Everyone else is miles apart from each other. There's nothing else to show. Like, I'm not being an ass, but, you know, you can't fabricate it. You know. Hamilton is 1.1 behind Sainz. I thought he was struggling on those tyres. And now, Russell and Stroll are catching Hamilton quite quickly. In fact, Stroll and Russell are catching 4/10 a lap, but they need more laps really. Do you want to see Ocon and Piastri retire? I don't know what. Yeah. Cheers, Mario. Thank you. And what I'm going to have a look because I spent a long time trying to sort this data out. Oh, big lock up there. This is working brilliantly. I mean, it's a shame about the idiot who just voted like 1 on everyone apart from the Mercedes drivers, but hey-ho. I suppose that's what I'm opening myself up for here, but this is really good, actually. We're getting data through, we're getting scores through. Lance Stroll through into turn 10, running wide. He didn't lock up, but he ran wide. Lance Stroll is only just ahead of Russell, you know, so that could give Russell an opening here. Yeah. And you know what's kind of unfortunate there, Gled, that they said about, as he was pitting, he said, didn't he, guys, you know, my tyres are all right, you know? Alonso saying it's a lovely car to drive. I love this. As an Alonso fan, look, I'm probably going to celebrate shortly, but I'm just trying to sort out this. Thank you so much for all the responses, guys. I can see the scores changing second on second. There we go. $11 responses so far. Thank you very, very much, guys. That link again for you guys. If you please do share your driver scores at this link, and later on I'm going to make a video based on your driver scores, and I'll add mine as well. So please do Click on that link and go and share your driver scores. I want to make this as I've worked really hard to try and make this bit as interactive as possible, so please do. What we seeing? Hamilton 1.8 behind Sainz. His tyres just have given up, haven't they? He's now lapping, honestly, quite a lot slower than Sainz. Alonso is lapping as fast as Perez, but you can imagine that Perez and Verstappen are managing now. Stroll and Russell are lapping very, very closely and catching Hamilton, but not enough, really. Russell might be able to have a nibble at Stroll by the end. Will you show the results? I'm going to do a video later on, Mario, so please do make sure you subscribe to the channel down below and hit that bell button. Later on tonight, I've got somewhere to go after the stream, but later on tonight, I'll make a review video, my thoughts on the race, and also I'll give my driver ratings. So please do share your driver ratings, guys. It will help me lots and lots and lots. There are many good drives that I think we were deprived of. Name one, Philip. Name one, mate. The reality is, Gasly has overtaken a lot of people with strategy. And everyone else, it was done right at the beginning. Albon, I hope people are noticing Albon in the points there. Bottas with a great drive in 8th. His passes were done at the start. Honest, I'm not being an ass, Philip, at all, dude. But I don't think the TV has missed anything in particular. I truly don't. What scrap? What scrap? What scrap? Nico Hulkenberg with a penalty, but he is towards the back. 5 seconds. Sake, my mouse has been a right annoyance. Mega. This is working exactly how I'd hoped. Brilliant. No, but there was no battle, Philip. That all of their places were made right at the beginning or with strategy, mate. There was nothing. There was honestly nothing you missed. As we see Albon put on some new softs. Is he going for the fastest lap of the race? Gasly, honestly, he's up to 9th. Yeah, he's made 11 places. Yeah, he's made 11 places. Please do remember to select your driver of the day as well. I'm loving seeing all this data come in. I'm glad this is working. I'm going to share the link again. Please do put your driver ratings in. 6 being the average. Less than 6, they've done worse than average. Above 6 is better than average. There you go, guys. And then vote for your driver of the day at the bottom. I really, Philip, you're on your own with that point, mate. We're seeing Max Verstappen because it's the end of the race now. Like, you know, you are on your own with that point. I don't think anyone has really agreed. You know, Albon and Tsunoda close at the minute, but only because Albon's put on new tyres. It's not close, really. Albon's going to pull away from him quickly. He's got brand new soft tyres on. So, yeah, that's not a thing. It's not close at all in reality. Russell is unable to make an impression on Stroll. Gasly could potentially have a move on the last lap of Bottas. That's why we keep cutting to that. Max Verstappen starting his final lap. I really do think Albon's going for the fastest lap of the race. How many stops has Norris made? 6. Final lap then here in Bahrain. Please do put your driver ratings in at that link, guys, and select your driver of the day. We've had quite a few responses to it, actually, and I'm very happy about that, so thank you very, very much. Through turn 4, goes Max Verstappen. Down towards turn 8. Yeah, I don't know exactly really what we've missed. We could say that at some races last season, but a lot of these positions that were made at the beginning of the race. Genuinely, they were. So... But the Red Bulls are so far up the road, right? They are so far up the road. We've got the checkered flag. I don't know what you mean for it. Here we go then. Round the final corner comes Max Verstappen to take the first victory. The first victory for Red Bull in 10 years at Bahrain. 1-2 for the team. Did Albon get the fastest lap? He did not, which is interesting. I thought he would. But Perez comes over the line in second. 1-2 for them. And here we go. Fernando. It's only Fernando, isn't it? Round the final corner. Go on, boy. Yes. There we go. Fernando Alonso in third place on pace. Go on, lad. Yes. You love to see it. You absolutely love to see it. Go on, Fernando. Love it. Fantastic. Fernando. Go on, boy. Brilliant. Love to see it. Fantastic. I absolutely love that. I absolutely love that. I really, really do. Brilliant. What a race. What a race. So the top 10, Verstappen takes victory by 11.9 seconds over his teammate, Perez. And then further back, another 26 seconds back was Alonso, with Sainz in 4th, Hamilton 5th, Stroll in 6th, Russell in 7th, Bottas in 8th. Good drive from Bottas, in my opinion. Gasly, really, really good drive. Really good drive, making 11 places in the race total. Albon picking up a potentially vitally important point there for Williams. Tsunoda 11th. It's really important this season for him to deliver, but he is some way ahead of his teammate, who finished down in 14th. With Logan Sargent, honestly, I'm impressed with a 12th place finish. 15 seconds ahead of Magnussen. De Vries in 14th. Hulkenberg down in 15th. That's not good. He was way ahead of his teammate, Fernando Alonso. I've got to listen. Happy birthday. There we go. And then De Vries 14th, Hulkenberg 15th, Zhou in 16th with the fastest lap of the race, and Norris 2 laps down, a full minute, just miles behind. Horrific for McLaren, right? Absolutely horrific. Please do get your driver scores in, please, guys. Get your driver scores in. We've had 20 responses. I'd like some more. I would like some more, but please do your driver responses and your driver of the day. We have a clear winner at this point, but yeah. I'm very interested to see the results later on. I have to watch the podium. I have to see my boy Alonso on the podium. With such dominance from Red Bull, championship will become boring this season. Look, all I can say is, unless you've been a Mercedes or a Red Bull fan for about a decade, it pretty much has been that. So, you know. Surprise Merc failed to get Sainz. Not really. His tyres went off. We could see it before it even was happening. When was the last time Alonso was on the podium? Was it last year or the year before? But it was a bit fluky. It wasn't in the same way, in my opinion. Back to the drawing board for Merc, I think. I think, you know, I think the thing is, right, I think the thing here is, okay, Mercedes, right, were 51 seconds off the win. But Ferrari were 48 seconds off the win. So Hamilton was only 3 seconds off Sainz in the end. But, because you can say the same for Ferrari, right? You can say the same for Ferrari. They were 48 seconds off the win, Ferrari. You know? It's just such a huge difference. Red Bull are just so far ahead, you know. It's madness. It's madness. But there was quite the race behind, in my opinion. So, a lot, you know, okay, if you're a Red Bull fan, you're a Red Bull fan. But the race behind, there was a great race. You know, Alonso, Sainz, Hamilton. Russell was about for a while as well, you know. Sound? What? Has the sound gone off? What? What do you mean sound? What? Look. I mean, I'm not surprised there's a lot of Mercedes fans in the chat, but why is nobody saying that Ferrari have to go back to the drawing board? They're only 3 seconds ahead of the Mercedes. Well, no one's saying Ferrari need to redesign the car. Ferrari need to. Like, no one's saying that. Why is that? Like, I think rather than saying how bad the Mercedes is, you have to look at how exceptional that Red Bull car is. You know, it's miles ahead. You know, that's really the thing. I think the optics on it are just a little bit skewed, personally, but please do make sure you've hit that subscribe down below. I mean, they may well change what they're doing. Bernardo, I'm turning it up. I've got to listen to Fernando. '99th career podium in Formula One. That's mad. Yeah, I mean, people love to say Alonso's a bad teammate, but Sergio Perez, basically, Alonso giving praise to his teammate. Get your driver ratings in there and pick your driver of the day, guys. I will be making a video later on today about that. We've got quite a few responses, and actually, despite the idiot, I think the ratings are quite fair. Some of them are savage. I think they're about right. Looking at this, I think you guys have done a good job with this. One of them I think is pretty harsh. Something seems fishy, though, like with the regulation changes that were designed to close the gaps, yet Red Bull that far ahead. You can't tell me they're that good. I can. My evidence, Mercedes winning what, 8 in a row? It happens, man. It happens. Again, Si, I'm gonna just say what I've already said. The Mercedes was listening in to the driver room. It's an interesting one, though. I am I'm liking the driver ratings that are coming in. Yeah, I think I'm starting to. It's not though, is it these days, Rob? Because they've said openly is only part time. So I think Red Bull, they're just better staffed. I think Fernando's just seen for the first time it was Stroll that hit him in turn 4. Very quiet in the cool down room. But Merck's winning streak was what prompted the changes, but I don't disagree wholeheartedly. I think with car improvements, the Merc drivers can be as good as anyone out there. I mean, the drivers are as good as anyone out there. The car, though, I mean, the proof is out there. The likelihood of look, what I will say is everyone's saying about the new side pods for Mercedes, right? Say they change them halfway through this season. Basically, if you're a Mercedes fan and you're telling them to change the side pods, they're already a year and a half behind Red Bull. Can they catch a year and a half worth of development on Red Bull? I'll say it. No, they can't. So Fernando Alonso. Yeah, I just think credit needs to be given now to Red Bull, the team that they've got there. I mean, they're absolutely smashing it. What can you say? Now, it's going to be interesting to see later in the season, isn't it? If these wind tunnel penalties really do have a tangible effect and other teams start to catch them, that'll be an interesting thing because the likes of Mercedes and Ferrari have more time, don't they? So, well, it's not going to happen. I think that set the stall for at least half the season. Red Bull are going to have reliability issue or find a track with Achilles heels for them. I think most people have watched Formula One long enough to know that What was it? A 38-second gap back to Alonso. That doesn't disappear. You know. How did Aston gain 2 seconds within a season? How did Aston gain 2 seconds within a season? Well, that's quite easy. That's quite easy to answer. Better staff is a huge one, Si. A huge one. A gigantic one for Aston. Also, Fernando Alonso, still one of the finest drivers on the grid. Fact. And better facilities. Like, it's quite easy. It's quite easy, Si. Like, you know, it's easy. Can you please tell me what happened with Leclerc engine failure or something in the powertrain? Yeah, and they get more CFD and wind tunnel time, indeed. Look, this is the thing. I know Mercedes fans don't like it. Look, it's just true. I've never seen that happen in a season without some seriously crazy circumstances. I've never seen a team close an entire 51-second margin from the first race. I've never seen it. If it happens, then fine. But I'm not gonna lie and say, oh, it's Mercedes, because saying that is like saying Ferrari aren't going to do anything. Aston Martin have already said 75% of their car will change by the end of the season, and it's like saying Red Bull aren't going to do any development in the season. Like, okay, they might close that gap somewhat, and they might maybe get a win or two, but Merck keeps saying, hyping, look, again, Si, again, I don't want this to be an anti-Mercedes thing, but do you really think Red Bull are doing nothing? Do you really think Ferrari and Aston are doing nothing? We already know McLaren have a gigantic upgrade coming as well, and they're near the back. Like, all the team, bloody Alpine, they had a massive upgrade before this race. You know, it's, come on now. Could it happen? Maybe. Crazier things have happened in Formula 1, but I think Merc fans are dreaming. I truly do. I really, really do. And I know they won't like hearing that, but I do think they're dreaming. Want the goal of the changes thing, though, to tighten things up? It was tight. It was tight, Russ. Just... look, I suppose it's where you look at the race, Russ. Okay, Verstappen and Perez walked away, but there was great racing. Like, look, I can see it with the objectivity of not being a fan of Red Bull or Mercedes. This feels like what Mercedes were doing. I can't call anything on that because they're just doing what... Red Bull are just doing what Mercedes have done for a decade. So, you know, I can't say much. I can't knock it. But anyway, get your driver ratings in there. Get your driver ratings in there, guys. That is the end of the weekend from Bahrain. Thank you so much for the love and the support throughout the weekend. I will be live with the TSK F1 news show Monday to Friday, 9 AM. And of course, I'll be live with as many sessions as I can at the next race as well. Please do make sure you're hitting that subscribe button down below and getting your driver ratings in. Thank you so much, guys, and I will see you very soon. Thank you very much. There will be a video live later on the channel as well when I take your driver ratings and make them into a video. All right, guys, I will see you later. Bye-bye.